The Truth Mic.
All right, we're joined by an Islander now whose exit shook the villa to its core. Boston's showdown with Mick sparked one of the biggest, most explosive moments of the entire season. And now she's out. She's finally ready to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It's Boston, everybody! Yes, crab clap for people who can see or can't see. Hey, how are you? It's lovely to see you. What a ride it's been. How are you feeling?
I'm honestly feeling good, on top of the world. Watching my exit was hilarious and I can't stop laughing at it. I've watched it like 10 times.
It's got millions upon millions of views all over socials. Let's dive in right there. You said to Mick, as you walked out the door, before you walked out the door, you treat people like shit. The switch up was crazy. You're a dickhead. All our friends know you're a dickhead. Is that still your sentiment watching it back?
Oh yeah, I stand by that 100%. Like, I'm the type of person, if I say something, I'll stand on business with it. So that still sticks.
Why does it still stick?
Because I just think Mick cares more about like his looks and his ego more than like people's feelings, and that's not someone I want to be friends with anymore. So we're not friends anymore.
Okay, well, you said like all our friends know you're a dickhead. Do you feel like he has those traits in the real world and he brought them into Love Island? Like, what's the background of that comment?
Yeah, I think he's a very ego-driven man. He's very smart, witty and funny. That's why I was friends with him. But I just think the way he speaks about people and treats them, I don't think he's very nice. I think it is quite nasty. And I don't think he can really take accountability. So like what you didn't get to see on the show was we were kind of fighting almost like every day, like a freaking old married couple.
Like kind of that playful, half flirty fighting.
There was like 4 or 5 days of us all over each other, flirting, talking. And I think every day we were both kind of unsure if we should have crossed that line from being friends. But yeah, we were flirting a lot.
Okay, so this is, people were kind of applauding just kind of, you know, the fire, the spit and fire when you went out. But I did see a few people kind of go, like, in Mick's defence, they have been friends for a long time. And it's kind of like, you know, that idea of if they wanted to, they would. They were like, he just, I guess that's the line. If he wanted to, he would. And is it unfair to go at him when he just didn't feel the thing he needed to feel? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but I think people on the internet, what they don't understand is that us, for the whole time we've been friends, we've always had partners. So there has been no chance to explore that. So us being in the villa at the same time, we were both kind of like, oh, like, is this like some sort of sign? Should we try it? Should we test it? So before the villa, there was no time to try it. So everyone's saying, oh, well, if it would have worked, it should have worked earlier. There was no chance to. The villa was that chance to try it, and we did. And I just think even if he felt a certain way about us like not being able to cross that friendship boundary, he should have let me know that and communicated that to me, not to the boys after. You know what I mean? So that's where I was kind of like, if you felt that way, that's totally fine, because we were both unsure. But I just think the way he went about it was just so disrespectful. And I think he just did it all for screen time.
Did you guys have a conversation like, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Because obviously you had, the night before, you had the little kiss, and that was the first sign of, oh, maybe this is going somewhere beyond their kind of playful flirting. But were you blindsided after that, or did you kind of know where his head was going?
I knew where his head was going because the day he was like ignoring me, the switch up. Like, you saw me in there, I was like, the switch up was crazy, because it was. I just think he's the bomb diffuser. I knew it was going to happen. As soon as she walked in, I knew it was going to happen.
Do you feel like your chapter with Ross was wasted time, or in the moment, was it the right thing to do for you?
I don't think it was wasted time. Like, I learned a lot about myself during that time as well. Like, you grow very quickly in there. And I like wear my heart on my sleeve. And I think I did that with Ross. We did have a very, very strong emotional connection from the beginning. And I honestly think his mind switched up because the girls didn't like me. And that was like the turning point. And you see that on the show, like that whole striptease dance. Everyone's excited. I'm excited for everyone. And then the girls stopped cheering for me. Jotham clocked it. And that was the night where Ross was like, oh yeah, like, I don't know, maybe I'm over Boston. And that to me is just giving, you want to impress everyone else in the villa and you can't make your mind up.
Oh, so you genuinely think, because full disclosure, Ross was on chatting to us before you popped on, and he downplayed your connection. His basic thing was, oh yeah, you know, maybe it looked like I was more into her than I was, but I chatted to her and kind of quite firmly said early on, no, I think, you know, I do want to focus on Sharn.
Oh, babe, no. He was so confusing with everything he told me, because I would not be putting my eggs in a man's basket if I felt he wasn't interested. But I also think he said on the first date he had commitment issues. Sharn talks about it. Ross talks about it. Like, that is clear as day. But I think he wasn't entirely sure on how to communicate that with me. And that's the most disappointing part. But again, yeah, I don't feel like I wasted time. But I think he's downplaying the connection as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, that can...
But each to their own. We're going to have to agree to disagree.
When you came in, you and Mia both said pretty loud and proud that you did not feel welcome and it wasn't a good environment. Can you talk us through that feeling to it looking like it's better now?
Honestly, it sucked. And what you don't see as well, I cried really hard in the beach hut day 3 and I wanted to go home because I felt so isolated. And I feel like,
sorry, Boston, was that after the big blow up with Mia and the girls on the TP and you having it out with Sharn?
This was before.
Oh, wow.
So the vibes were just obviously I'm going in as a bombshell. I have a job to do. I was so respectful about it from the start, yet I was still in the wrong. There was nothing I could have done that was going to make the girls like me, which I get it to an extent, but it does get to a point where you got to understand it's Love Island. Everyone's in there to find their best connection. I had chats with Sharn, but I just think the talking behind my back was the craziest thing to watch back, because at that point we were kind of okay. So seeing that playback was it actually really hurt, and I was really anxious and upset at it. And to not really have any of those girls check in and apologize sucked as well. But I also didn't expect them to.
The girls that we've talked to as part of that saga have kind of said that moment and that kind of chapter was blown out of proportion, and that people kind of kissed and made up pretty quickly after. Is that true or not true in your mind?
Oh, again, I'm so transparent. It was not blown out of proportion. What you saw is what you saw. There's probably things that happened in there that were worse. Again, as I said, I cried wanting to leave because I felt so isolated. Yes, we did kiss and make up. And I do think after Izzy left, the vibe became a little bit more harmonious. I don't know if that was because she left and Sharn's best friend wasn't there. I don't really know about that. But that was a turning point for us girls when we realized, we actually can get along, because there's limited time in here. We do want to be friends and stuff like that. But it's also just the post-villa energy where now we don't all really speak, a few of us. So it's just interesting vibes. But it definitely wasn't blown out of proportion. So I'm not going to sit here and downplay it, because I know how I felt, and I actually won't have anyone invalidate those feelings. So
that's interesting. So some of the not happy vibes in the villa have kind of carried out into the real world.
Yeah, we were all fine. As we all came out, we're trauma bonded for life. Let's all check in, be there for each other. Yana has checked in on me big time. Alex, Matteo, Jotham, Mia, my OGs, but I only actually recently got a message about 4 or 5 days ago from a certain someone, and I just think it was quite a calculated message, and I just didn't even respond to it, because I think it should have been an apology weeks ago.
Certain someone, male or female?
Female.
What's the first letter of their name and the last letter of their name and all the letters in the middle?
Sharn, Sharn. So she sent me a text. I read it, but I obviously just was I feel like that message should have been sent on the first episode where she was talking smack about me, and it wasn't. So I might respond when I'm ready, but I just don't really think it was genuine. And that's me being honest.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So the tea keeps on teeing. If you were to meet up with Ross now and have a chat, if you bumped into him and sat down and have a coffee, how do you think he would reflect on your journey together?
I don't know. Well, you've said he's downplayed it, but I think if I was to sit down with him, have a wine or a coffee or whatever, I think we'd be chill. After we ended our little triangle, we were still close. I was you guys kiss in the bed. I'm gonna go do my thing with Mick. It's so fine. We were good. But I think if I saw him in the real world, we'd be chill. But yeah, I haven't spoken to him since leaving the villa.
Yeah, okay. When you guys were dumped, yourself and Mia are kind of walking to pack, and Mia said it's really not fair, and you said picking Matteo, you guys, as in Matteo and Tamara, don't even like each other. Do you feel that Tamara was saved just because she was better friends with the girls, or do you think there was a better reason?
I think she was, saved because she was better friends with the girls, which I get. They were all like there longer than Mia and myself, but I do think realistically in that setting, Bailey should have been saved. Like, he only had like one night in there. I think Alex and Mia were just getting started. What you also didn't see was me and Dylan had a really, really solid connection in there. So it was disappointing, all of us getting sent home, because I feel all of us really deserved to stay in there for a little bit longer. And I absolutely love Matteo. I love T as well. But I do think, again, what you didn't see was me, Matteo, Joth and Mia had a chat in the bathroom, and Matteo admitted, he's like, no, I just don't really see her as like my wife. Like, that was the vibe. And I think Tamara was kind of slowly like fading away from him. I had a chat with Tamara being like, I might call Matteo for chats. And she was like, go for it, babe. So yeah, for her to get chosen to stay, and then obviously she chose Matteo, that was crazy to me, because I knew that they were kind of drifting apart.
The beanbag, Ross, Sharn, you situation, that set the internet on fire. Ross and Sharn had a lot to say about it. When you were watching that back, what was your take?
Honestly, watching that back, in the moment, I didn't realize maybe he was trying to get closer to me and away from Sharn, but watching it back, that's exactly what it looked like. And my friends and family were like, bro, like, he was literally like waiting for you to go over. But I think at that point I was like, I feel like I'm pursuing him too much. He needs to come over to me more. But that whole night was so chaotic. And I think they showed it really well on TV. Like, that's exactly what happened. And I think the chat that Sharn and I had was great, but I don't think she knew I was going to stand on business with like backing myself up. And I think she quickly deflected and kind of started blaming her comments and saying that, oh, no, that wasn't directed at you, it was directed at Mia. It was directed at both of us.
Which comments specifically?
So Sharn had walked away and she was like, we've tried with the girls, like whatever. But I'm like, you guys literally said you were going to get food, walked away from us, ended up going to the TP. There was no trying with us. And I kind of get why, because I was stealing her man. But the way that Mia and myself were treated in there, I think was actually like quite horrible. And I was just glad that they did eventually show that on TV.
You said that you had a little bit of a cry before that, actually. How did Mia take it? Because I thought Mia, she had this kind of sense of, you know, kind of floating above it all slightly, and kind of almost bemused by it. But how did she take it?
She took it like a champ. Like, she's like a very, very strong, smart woman. And I'm so proud of her. I think she held herself really well in there. But yeah, she did better than me, because I would not have had the patience to sit there and let someone talk to me like that. And I just think it was really disrespectful. And what you didn't see was Yana came over to me and Sharn crying, being like, Me's being attacked. And I was like, what? I got up from that chair, strutted over to that TP, just sat there kind of waiting for someone to say something to me. Izzy, Gabby just walked off straight away and nothing else was said. Me and Tamara started talking about it like adults, mature, and then that's when the drama and the beef kind of started floating away. But yeah, Izzy was going at Mia, but didn't have much to say to me.
Okay, when Isabel was on, she said that when that chat ended, that they hugged it out and walked away kind of friends.
I don't remember them hugging out at all, because I came over and Izzy walked straight away.
Okay.
There was no hugging after that chat.
Okay. Boston, you came, you saw, you conquered, you spilled some piping hot tea. A lot of people, like I mentioned at the start, were upset that you didn't get to go further with your journey, or for whatever reason you didn't click with somebody that kind of got you and you got them, and, you know, take it forward more. When you're looking back at your whole journey playing out on the TV, do you feel like it was kind of like a missed opportunity, or are you going, hey, it was a roller coaster and I loved every second?
I think it was very much a roller coaster of emotions, and I loved every second after all the divide and drama was like done.
Boston, you're a legend and you created some of the most iconic moments of the series. So thank you for bringing the fire and the honesty. And here's to love moving forward. Thank you, Boston.
Thank you.